Kathy. It's 10:30. Okay.
Tonight, from the Superdome in New Orleans, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the New Orleans Saints taking on the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, first opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes this Dallas offense led by Dak Prescott in his 6th season now as the Cowboy quarterback.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions, right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Prescott now. He'll get this to Elliott. He spins free. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So the assignment, a tough one here for this defense. You've got a quarterback ranked in the top 5 in passing yards. What do they need to do to try to keep him under wraps?
Well, they didn't sleep a whole lot getting ready for this one. I can guarantee you there's just so much to combat. But I think they're going to zero in on taking away his top target. Double, triple him if they...
No, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Quan Alexander coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught by Lamb. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that is incomplete. 4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve. Now the man who broke Saints fans' hearts, Greg Zuerlein, on for the field goal. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
On the return, Deontay Harris. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they'll be let out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season, and maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year, and with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Dwayne Washington, his first carry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Saints on just 2 plays have taken the lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tiny two-play drive that time. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again, but have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Well, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots, and here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a...
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big-time play there for New Orleans.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Dwayne Washington with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. So it was the passing game that got... The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent do.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 21st touchdown of the season, and the Saints have retaken the lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing. Prescott. On the left side, Gallup's got it. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now Landry. A minute 55 left to go in the first half of play. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. Henry. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Back to throw. Henry looking long for Thomas. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. From the gun, Henry. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Washington. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Dwayne Washington with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and that'll give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Prescott looks to throw on first. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. His throw incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Oh, Prescott stripped, but I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly, and this one could be coming back. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Okay, Brandon, thanks. Back for the second half of Thursday Night Football in just a moment. But first, the bye weeks are over. We've got a full slate of 16 games once again.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This taken in at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And the Saints set to go here to begin the 3rd quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Right back to Washington. 49 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. third down. It's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Landry now on the return. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. They've been able to move the ball well in the air, and certainly a big reason why those receiving corps have been excellent.
There's no doubt about it, partner. And let's face it, when they get away from defenders, those guys are quick. And when they go over the top of people and use their bodies, they're just thick. But let's face it, what we're seeing right now are catches that are simply sick.
Well, you brought your A game. You're fired up over those catches, aren't you?
Can't help it. Even as a former defensive back, I've got to tip my cap to these guys. They are balling.
I appreciate that. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Now on first down, it's Washington again. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 79 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Henry. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of it, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. A good run on first down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Saints add on to their lead.
That was not a design. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Lutz with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Elliott going to get it again on second down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Looking sideline, incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. He'll return it from the 6. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Fighting through. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 115 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Off play action. Henry. He's going to look deep now for Landry. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes us down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big-time play there for New Orleans. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. Back now here live in New Orleans. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. Now a first carry for their fullback. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Not a lot of headway on that carry, but when you're dealing with a defensive line that can cover up your center, sometimes you got to think about getting out of that play. Not going to be a lot of space when that happens.
A give running left. It's Washington. Fights free yet again. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Dwayne Washington with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year. And the Saints are going to be moving on to 12-0 as they extend their lead further. We can talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on the defensive side of the ball.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. Taking it about the 16. Landry, agile footwork. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. All right, how has he done it? 4 touchdowns in this contest. He's been around the end zone in particular. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try.
Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away, and frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And the Saints are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Taysom Hill with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Saints stretch this 4th quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. Glancing down at the stat sheet, and we've been tracking it, but you get a 100-yard game, you're really happy. You're over 200 like he is. You probably want that ball after this game, don't you?
You want that one. You want to continue to call the same plays in any other game you play. You're having one of those magical performances that just never want to end. And you know something? Your fellow receivers, they get those clenched grins right now like, congratulations. Well, why is it in me?
Well, so far, it's been all about him. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got it. Touchdown. Jarvis Landry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
What's good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 2nd and 10, Prescott. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Prescott. And that's incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I've given him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know,
Yeah.
the mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is brought in at the 21. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. 136 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Stephen Weatherly in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. Buying time to his left. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
On 4th down, Henry. And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used the slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
This has been a rough one to put it mildly for them, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. Taken in at the 22. Powers through. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. That one looks like he'll throw here. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards.
In a spot where most offenses would just be trying to get to the finish line and close this game out, they're still looking for points here in the final minute of this game. I think bonuses could be gained and attained with maybe more points.
On first, here's Washington. And shutting him off, now open field. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Lutz to try to end the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Possession of the football going back to the Cowboys. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play there on the scramble.
Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of...
Oh, Prescott stripped, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Saints say they have it, and they do. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Back to throw. Henry. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. Handoff right side, it's Washington. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line down at the 2. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Saints, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, this